I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
In every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free.
I'd like to welcome you to a very special edition of the Roslyn Show. And of course, we're celebrating and showcasing Black History Month, past and present. So we've chosen to honor two iconic individuals who have helped to shape and to influence the African American experience, past and present. And they have contributed to its resiliency and its resilient spirit. And because there have been many persons over the years, and we recognize their contributions as well. However, we want to highlight two individuals tonight that have impacted the lives of millions. And again, we recognize tonight the first person being Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was born Michael King Jr., January 15th, 1929. And of course, he passed away April the 4th, 1968. And he was also an American Baptist minister and activist. And so we'll have more coming up right after this. Tonight, we're highlighting the contributions of two American icons and to Black history, and two huge iconic figures. We're celebrating the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, along with Angela Bassett. And so tonight, we want to bring to you this special right here on the Storyline with Roslyn Show. I personally have served in various capacities and helped to, I believe, to continue the legacy of Dr. King. And so tonight, this is very special to me personally as well, as far as our generation and those who have gone on before. And so we want to continue that legacy tonight. And as we bring forward, like I said, these two individuals, I want you to really think about how they have really helped to shape Black American history. And so tonight, again, we're talking about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, he was born Michael King Jr., January 15th, 1929. Of course, he was assassinated April the 4th, 1968. And he was an American Baptist minister. And of course, his achievements have been more than we can name tonight. And of course, he was very instrumental in influencing the passage of the pivotal legislation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, and also the Voting Rights of 1965, as well as the Fair Housing Act of 1968. Of course, Dr. King was one of the most prominent leaders in the Civil Rights Movement. Of course, not the only one, but he had a huge influence on the movement. Of course, he was one of the most iconic leaders of that era. And of course, from 1955, he was involved in civil rights movement until his assassination, of course, in 1968. King, of course, he advanced the civil rights of people of color. And so we do want to emphasize that he really made major impacts and inroads for people of color. And he leaves with us his legacy. And so we want to continue that legacy and bringing to the forefront the importance of continued civil rights legislation for people of color. Of course, Dr. King is the individual from the past that we want to recognize for his contributions in Black history. And so now we shift our thoughts forward, and of course we will have more as we return. Tonight we celebrate the man, the legend, and our hero, Dr. Martin L. King, as the legacy continues. Up next, Miss Angela Bassett, as our celebration of Black history continues. Next, we're talking about Angela Bassett. She is Black excellence at its finest. Stay with us. Tonight we continue our celebration of the Civil Rights Movement and of course Black History Month, and part of that, a very integral part of that, along with recognizing one of the most iconic figures in Black American history. And tonight we celebrate presently a postmodern era. Of course, today her name is Miss Angela Bassett, and we've chosen to honor her and highlight her during our show. And of course, she's a Black American actress who has broken many racial barriers and of course has completely shattered glass ceilings in the acting industry. And of course, we want to recognize her and for what she has contributed to American history as well as Black history. Of course, Angela Evelyn Bassett was born August 16, 1958 in New York City, New York. Of course, she took a very prominent role in film and television during the 1980s, and she continues to wow audiences worldwide. And of course, with that, she has an unmatched and a very unique talent that we want to recognize this evening. Of course, her presence is one of class, elegance, and eloquence. And of course, she lights up the stage and she brings her presence, her unique ability to reach audiences around the world. She's beautiful, iconic, and of course, she lit up the big screen recently, of course, in the series Black Panther series. She recently received the Golden Globe Award, highlighting her role in the Black Panther series, the Marvel film industry. And of course, we want to recognize her for that role. And so we're so proud of her, and we want her to know tonight that we have truly been blessed. So we want to recognize Miss Angela Bassett in her role in the movie. And so we want to thank her for her amazing contributions to Black history. And of course, as we celebrate Black History Month, we want to thank you, Miss Bassett, and we honor you today, and we wish for you continued blessings as God continues to use you in your role. And so tonight, as we close, we want to thank you for watching and thank you for joining us. Of course, we continue to celebrate Black history. Recognize Miss Angela Bassett in her role in the movie. And so we want to thank her for her amazing contributions to Black history. And of course, as we celebrate Black History Month, we want to thank you, Miss Bassett, and we honor you today, and we wish for you continued blessings as God continues to use you in your role. And so tonight, as we close, we want to thank you for watching and thank you for joining us. Of course, we continue to celebrate Black History century and beyond. We want to continue this legacy as we all are part and have benefited from the works and from the labor of our ancestors, those and our forebears who've gone on before. And with that, we're closing. Thank you so much for watching.